So, what if the key to unlocking your spiritual potential wasn't tucked away in a monastery, but was actually found in a mushroom? Today, we're going to dive into the core idea of the book Shrooms for Enlightenment, this premise that psilocybin, when you use it with real intention, can be an incredibly powerful catalyst for awakening. You know, the book doesn't kick off with some dry theory. It starts with a confession. The author just comes right out and says he was a skeptical, cocky frat boy. This quote right from the get-go sets the stage for a journey from absolute disbelief to a kind of profound, totally unexpected insight. And that journey really starts by tackling a fundamental problem, one that I think a lot of people feel but can't quite put their finger on. It's that feeling of just being spiritually stuck. The idea here is that from the moment we're born, our minds are basically running on preloaded scripts. We build these really complex identities based on our family, our culture, our past traumas, and it all comes together to create what the book calls a prison of perception. It's like this invisible barrier that keeps us from experiencing a deeper reality. And get this, modern neuroscience actually has a name for this inner prison, the default mode network, or DMN. This is literally the source of that constant voice in your head, you know the one, that inner narrator who is always, always telling you the never-ending story of me. And this right here, this is the call of the mushroom. The book argues psilocybin's real power isn't in what it creates, but in what it quiets. It's this incredible ability to temporarily disrupt that default mode network, finally silencing the ego's constant chatter for a little while. So what actually happens when that inner narrator, that voice in your head, finally goes quiet? Well, according to the book, you start to see right through the illusion. To really get this, the book brings in this powerful metaphor from Aldous Huxley. The idea is that our brain isn't designed to let everything in. No, its main job is to act as a reducing valve, filtering out almost all of reality so we can just survive and function day to day. Now, this idea, it changes everything. It basically means our normal reality is just a teeny tiny sliver of what's actually out there. So the argument isn't that psychedelics are making things up, it's that they're just opening that valve, letting us perceive more of the reality that's already here, all around us, all the time. And when that filter opens up, what people often experience is something called ego dissolution. It's that powerful, sometimes jarring feeling that the character you play every single day has suddenly stepped aside, and what's left is this sense of profound connection to everything. The book uses this amazing chariot allegory from the Bhagavad Gita to really paint a picture of this shift. You see, it's the difference between being dragged around helplessly by the wild horses of our senses and our habits versus consciously taking the reins with our intellect as the charioteer and our soul, the passenger, finally awake and actually aware of the journey we're on. But, and this is a huge but, the book is crystal clear about this. That profound experience, it's not the goal. It's not even close. It's just the very beginning. Which brings us to what the author says is the most crucial part of this whole thing: integration. Think about it like this. According to the author, the psychedelic journey itself, the visions, the big insights, the emotional release, all of that is maybe 10% of the work. The real transformation happens in the other 90%. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the book's entire message. The mushroom shows you the door, it gives you a glimpse of the path ahead, but you and only you have to do the work of actually walking it. So what is this work? It's called integration. It's basically the daily practice of taking that memory of clarity, that feeling of connection, and weaving it into your life. It's about embodying it, living it, especially when all the filters and pressures of the normal world come rushing back in. And this isn't just some abstract idea. The book gives you a real toolkit for this. Practices like meditation, journaling, and finding community support, they're not just suggestions. They're the anchors that ground the insights and make them stick. This is how you turn a fleeting state of awareness into a permanent way of being. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Psilocybin is presented as a catalyst, not some kind of magic cure. It's a tool that doesn't give you the answers, but it can powerfully reveal what's been standing in your way all along. It shows you the prison walls, sure, but walking out of that cell, that's still on you. And that's where the book leaves us, with this really provocative question. It turns the focus away from the mystical experience and puts it squarely back on the individual's own responsibility. It's not about what you saw, it's about what you do day by day with what you've seen.